Hello, y'all. I am back again for another video. I'm on this exercise bike. I have my coffee. You may consider it a little unhealthy. However, that's what I have right now. So, I thought of doing these series, and I think that for me, I'm excited to do this because I think that it's going to be very interesting. I was thinking one day, how can I talk about narcissistic situations or potential narcissists? Sometimes even they could be empaths. You got to remember, I touched on this in another video. Stop looking at supply just like it's just for narcissists. Empaths get supply also. However, with empathic people, their intentions are normally not as harsh when they want the supply. However, it can cause very much harm to you because some empathic people can be self centered and selfish, which that alone is a narcissistic trait. So I was thinking to myself, how do I go over some of even the current situations that I might have been in within the past year, old situations. And so I thought of this, right? I said, I'm going to create a playlist. And for right now, I'm going to separate the playlist. So this one is going to be Narcissist number one. And the reason I'm so motivated to do these videos is because what I would like to do is protect your future. And I also want to talk about and show you how I'm protecting my future. And with doing this, hopefully it's going to lead to a lot of happiness because what you want to do is avoid future narcissistic situations. Because by now, if you watched enough of my videos, you probably have already been with someone that is a narcissist or someone that's highly narcissistic. Now, if someone's highly narcissistic, you're going to be able to deal with them for a while. However, their empathy is very, very low. So, in time, you should almost bounce those relationships out of your life also. However, narcissist number one. So remember, this is something new that I'm creating, and this is going to be episode one. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be. However, what I am going to attempt to do is to also include some examples for the men because I have a lot of females and a lot of males that view my videos. So it's going to really be exciting. Like, I'm excited to see how this playlist is going to start out. So, narcissist number one. And after I do enough narcissist number one, then I get to narcissist number two. I may kind of start the playlist simultaneously. So, I got a lot. I mean, I could do these videos for years. I'm not going to lie. Like, just doing narcissist number one, I mean, you're talking about the many years. So, as a disclaimer, I would like you to decide if you think this is a narcissist. I'm going to be naming this narcissist number one, episode one. However, this could very well not be a narcissist. However, when a person behaves in such a manner, even if they're empathic, they should be treated as if they are a narcissist because at the end of the day, it will not benefit your life when you see all these red flags. Okay, so going into this, narcissist number one. This is a male potential narcissist or person or human being. And a lot of times I don't go over the gender. However, since this is going to be more specific, like an ongoing story or soap opera or episodes, by it being like that, most of the time I'm going to try to be truthful about the gender. However, I will try to throw in examples since this is going to be a male narcissist. And remember, I'm a straight female. When I say straight, I am heterosexual. I'm not gay, I'm not lesbian, I'm not bisexual. So when it comes to who is coming on to me or who I'm allowing in my life, it would be a man because I don't date women. Okay, so let me just point that out. So you will notice more if I'm talking about a potential relationship that I could have had or refused or did have, it is going to be with a man. Okay. As a disclaimer, I'm not downgrading anyone's sexuality. If you're gay, you're gay. If you're bi, you bi. If you're down low, not a good thing because you're not being truthful with people. So being down low is definitely a form of dishonesty that I think is very, very bad. So going more into this, hold on one second. You hear that beeping? I'm learning this technology, y'all. So while I'm doing this video, I gotta figure this out. I guess you put it on do not disturb, and that's how it works. I don't know, or maybe I could have put the sound down. I don't know how it works, but I just clicked that to do not disturb so that you're not hearing that noise. So, okay, narcissist number one. This was a transportation driver that was a man. And he ended up being from the same hometown that I'm from, he claimed, which is St. Louis, Missouri. So, upon meeting, he was such an interesting gentleman, highly intelligent. He studied a lot. He has a lot of educational background. He's been in a variety of different lines of work. And I remember when I was in the vehicle, I told the gentleman, "You're very intelligent." Now, we ended up exchanging numbers and choosing to keep contact. And I'm just going to throw this out here. For me, a compliment is genuine. So when I told this gentleman he was intelligent, I meant that. However, I found that telling him that he was intelligent may have sent a signal that I was not as intelligent. And I will explain to you why going into this. And the reason I'm going to say that is because it seems as if when we began talking and communicating over the phone, he tried to pull some numbers over on me, which means like you could tell he started a little manipulation, but it was not an aggressive manipulation. Men and women, they want what they want. Now, I'm also going to point this out. I've seen a lot of videos where men, women, whomever, they're saying things like, "You're going to be single forever." Well, you're going to be single forever. That does not bother me. Okay. Maybe that statement works on people that are miserable, needy, can't survive without a man. They're easily brainwashed. I actually put this video in one of my playlists. Guidance for women, I think is the playlist. And I have a guidance for men playlist also. But there's this lady, she's in the video saying, "Okay, I'm going to be single forever." And she's talking about how much she's having fun with her life. So with that in mind, I think it may be a good idea to develop the same mindset, because if you're not feeling attacked when someone says you're single or you're unmarried or whatever, you may be less likely to get too involved with narcissists because, for one, you're not going to be desperate. So, I told the gentleman he's intelligent, and with a lot of narcissistic relationships, y'all start out talking on the phone for long hours, and you're really enjoying talking to each other, and I'm going to be honest with this situation. This gentleman was interacting with me over the phone anywhere from about 1 to 2.5 months, maybe 3 months at the longest. I don't think it went that long. I think it was pretty much the phone conversations ended within 2 months. But I had to basically let him know, I had to get up in the morning. I had things to do. Staying up at night talking to him, I could have been doing more videos, y'all. That type of stuff affects what I got going in my life too, because I do upload videos. I never disclosed to this gentleman that I had a YouTube channel. I keep that sort of private because I just don't really want him stalking me through my videos. So he was very open about his past. He mentioned that he used to be a player. Anyone that tells you they used to be a player, male or female, consider them a potential problem, okay? And this is why. It's not because you want to use their past against them. It's because they have a way of doing things that they're used to doing, and they have been doing these things over many, many years usually, and they have habits that can be very uncomfortable when it comes to committed, compassionate, two-way relationships. So whether it be a male or female, if they tell you they used to be a player, they was a prior cheater, they never fell in love, they had a bunch of women or men at the same time, they're talking about they believe in polygamy, any of those sort of statements, I would suggest that you consider that someone that has some narcissistic traits. One YouTuber, and I really like this gentleman. I actually watch a lot of his videos because I agree with some of his points, but he actually mentioned that if a woman doesn't believe in polygamy, she's not a woman of God. I don't believe any of that stuff. I believe that you're more of a man or woman for the Lord if you believe in a one-on-one commitment and you're valuing more of who that person is. Now, I think it's a choice. I think if someone wants to practice polygamy, which is being with more than one woman, that's their choice. However, I just feel like it's not for me. I don't care if somebody say, well, you ain't gonna never get with a woman or a man. I'm saying in general, like not me be with a woman. If someone tells a man they're never gonna be with a woman, or if someone tells me I'm never gonna meet a man because I don't believe in polygamy, I don't care about none of that. And the reason I say that is I had a good friend that I grew up with, and her mom got remarried at 65. Okay. So I've been around a lot of diverse situations, and I've seen a lot of happy people and happy couples. And if you go to a wedding of some woman that's 65 and her husband's around the same age, I think he was even a few years older, maybe, or maybe a couple of years younger. I don't remember. However, that shows me anyone can get married. Okay. And she was beautiful. She was 65 years old, but she's always been beautiful since I was a little girl. So those are the reasons I don't believe in a lot of things people say, because I've seen different. Okay. And I believe that your best chance for a husband or wife would be getting your life together for the Lord. So, anyway, going back to this narcissist number one, we spent a lot of hours talking on the phone. I mentioned to him I couldn't do that as often because it was affecting me getting up in the morning. He was okay with that. He also mentioned that he had an adult child that he was getting to know. And it was a son, or he was a son of his. And he mentioned to me when the son was younger, because I was asking him, well, what happened? Why weren't you in his life? Not as a judgment thing, just as a curiosity thing. And he said that the mother of the son came to his door one day, and he opened the door. He expressed that he didn't like the baby mama or the mother of the child. So his son and the mother came to his door, and he opened the door and told him to kick rocks. Like, what you at my door for? So he basically asked the woman to leave with her son. Now, I asked him, I said, now, is that your biological son? He expressed, yes, he knew for sure that that was his biological son, but he had such a disdain for the mother, he just couldn't tolerate even them being at the door, in so many words. So I didn't judge. I just said, okay, well, I guess that's how you felt. I mean, I'm not that man. I never had that experience. However, looking in hindsight, I mean, you got to look at the heart of a man that treats his little boy like that. And he was trying to mend it. I mean, his son grew up and they were having phone contact, and his son's married and he has some grandchildren. The gentleman that I was talking to, his son has children, so those would be his grandchildren. So then we went into, okay, what happened with his last relationship? So he mentioned that his last relationship, the girlfriend that he was with, it lasted about a year. However, it didn't work because she had a sick mom, pretty much like a bedridden mom. So, and keep this in mind, I'm pretty intuitive. I know how to read between the lines. Okay. His girlfriend had a sick mom. So it sounded as if this particular narcissist number one wasn't being very supportive, because your sick mom shouldn't be a reason that our relationship ends. Because for me, if I had a husband or if I was married, I would be supporting my husband to take care of his mother. So the gentleman mentions that it didn't work because she had to spend a lot of time with her mom. So if I had a husband, that wouldn't bother me because I would be right there with them. So I would be spending time with them because we both would be taking care of his mother. That's the empath I would be. However, remember, that's why I'm calling this narcissist number one. Don't sound like he was very empathic and supportive in that area. And you can leave some comments on what you think he is or was or whatever. So let me think of something else he did. He was asking me to go on long drives alone. Long drives that would have been anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours from where I'm staying. And he mentioned we would stop at rest stops. One drive, he wanted me to go far north. The other city he was inviting me to, I would have been going further south. This is a stranger. He also at one point joked about And this is how he said it. He said, well, it's not a big deal if we go on a long drive. It's not like I'm a serial killer or anything. And that shit ain't funny, y'all. See, you got to stop thinking people joking with you too. That way you don't end up chopped up in somebody's attic or basement. And I'm speaking to the men and women. We had a young man, got on one of those online dating sites with this timid little girl, looked like she wouldn't hurt a fly. She killed him. Okay, so murdering somebody or getting murdered, it ain't just all because I'm a woman that's gonna happen to me. It's happening to men too. So be careful. So he did the little serial killer joke. What was another red flag? We met at a restaurant, and I had one of my relatives with me, and I was on a phone call with one of my relatives' friends from school or friend from school, and we kind of just tuned in on the speakerphone on the call, and the narcissist number one tended to take over the phone call, and that was fine. Okay, I'm a family oriented person. I love to be around people that just join in, and I think narcissist number one knew that. I think he genuinely knew that. So he asked myself and my relative if we would like to go to a movie. I think he wanted us to go pretty soon, within the next couple of days or so. Definitely within the next week or whatever. So we agreed to go. And keep in mind, at the restaurant, I bought the food. That's no big deal. A lot of women be like, I'm not gonna pay for a man. He happened to stop by where I was at, and I just shared some food, purchased some food. I don't care about that. You're a man, you're a woman. If I'm out to eat and you show up and I think you cool enough, I'll buy you some food. No problem. I don't even look at that as a gender specific thing. We wasn't really out on no official date. Even if we were, why is this stranger obligated to buy me food? So I look at things from a logical point of view. I don't look at it just from a gender specific point of view. So I bought the food. So that was why he agreed to take myself and my relative to a movie. Now, he claimed that he couldn't go because the weather was bad. And we did. We did have some weather issues. However, the weather was fine. I walked outside. Everybody was driving. There wasn't big snow. There wasn't big ice. He basically just lied. And the thing is, you got to remember this. He was basically saying, okay, you bought this food. I'm going to take you and your relative out to eat. Or not out to eat, out to the movies. So when you're meeting new people and you're contributing and you're buying, and as an empath, we kind of free hearted, and they break the first agreement to repay you, automatically cut them out your life. I mean, you don't want to go forward with this situation. They're a user. They're kind of like a rip you off type of person. They're showing you that right up front. You don't have time to train this person. Remember, earlier he said he was a player. Now, I'm going to suggest this. Even though he did these red flags, I still gave him 2 to 3 months over the phone. I didn't let it go past 90 days. Do it like a 90-day probation. Phone only. Okay, remember we had this kind of meet out, going out to eat thing. He backed out of the movie deal. He apologized for it, on speakerphone, and my relative was there, but my relative was just looking at me like, I don't care what this guy is saying. And follow the intuition of your relatives. Okay. My relative didn't like it. We just met this gentleman. He's doing too much and he's new, okay, in our life. And I believe a lot of what he did because, remember, initially I told him he was an intelligent man. So I guess he thinks I'm not intelligent. I'm not going to be noticing these things. He mentioned one day that his power was off because of the storm or something that we had. However, myself and a great friend of mine, she suggested I look online to see when the power outage was in the area he lived, and the power outage was over a week ago. Now, in the state I'm in, they cut the power back on fairly quick here. Whenever there was a storm, my power was always on by the next morning, the middle of the night. I mean, this is not a place where they leave your power off for weeks and weeks. I mean, I've seen it in other states where they have storms and you see, oh, they went without power for 1 week, 2 weeks. In the state I'm in, they're really good with getting your stuff back on pretty quick. So I'm trying to think of another issue. Okay, he didn't go to the movie thing with myself and my relative. And remember, narcissistic people, they're not going to be able to be consistent. So he was all friendly, acting family oriented when we were out, joining in the speakerphone conversation. However, he didn't show that same energy when it was time to go to the movie. And he's also not sticking to his word. And he was also telling lies because I'm looking outside and ain't nothing wrong with the weather. So, oh, he had a very, very nice car. Now, the car that he uses for his transportation business is kind of like a bucket type car. It's not like really modern and new. But he has this other really beautiful car. And I mean, it is beautiful and clean. I love the way he maintains his car. However, he wanted to really take me on long rides in this car. And that's how he pretty much gets his supply. So what happens is you got to have self-control. So really, with all of the things he's doing, I'm really not liking some of the signs and traits he's showing. I mean, he basically broke up with the girlfriend because he didn't want to be bothered with her mama, in so many words. He only had one child his entire life that came to the door with the baby mama or the mother of his son, and he told the boy to kick rocks. You know, these are patterns, okay? He's already backing out on things with me. And you got to remember, when he canceled that movie thing, he also told me that he would do that to kind of repay me for buying the food. So that's almost like breaking a financial agreement already. And that shouldn't be what you're looking for. Oh, another thing he did was we were going to go like swimming or something because this was, during the weather was warmer. Okay. And he asked me if I had some swimming trunks. And I'm going to tell y'all this. For males and females, you will avoid a lot of horrible situations not coming into situations like you're supposed to be providing for people. Okay, so I asked him, I said, well, whose swimming trunks you supposed to be using? Think about it. That's like me meeting a man and I need a pair of panties. And I tell him, well, you got anybody panties here? Like, why would I, as a woman, want to put on somebody else's panties? That's disgusting. So that's the same energy I felt. I was like, what you say? Like, is there any swimming shorts here? I mean, and if they were, they belong to my relatives, not you. My relatives don't know you. What's gonna make one of my relatives give you swimming shorts? Now I could see if we hadn't planned it and we ended up going swimming or to the hot tub and he didn't have any right at that moment, maybe, but we were pre-planning this situation. And this was prior to me meeting him at the restaurant. So that's a red flag. Don't deal with people. He's showing some user traits. He doesn't want to provide his own swimming shorts. I'm buying everybody's food, but he doesn't want to go to the movies and pay. These are red flags. Those type of people I don't deal with. Um, I don't deal with those situations. Those lead to financial abuse. And I would say that's an area I'm pretty strong in, like not allowing people to just straight up rip me off. So let me think of something else he did. Oh, the vehicle situation with the nice vehicle. He was upset when we met at the restaurant. You could tell this annoyed him when he wanted to bring us home. But remember, even though he's a transportation driver, he didn't remember where he kind of dropped us off at. And I kind of had dropped me off where he didn't see me directly walk in the door. So once he shut his app down, he couldn't remember where we stayed. So he wanted to drop us off. I mean, I was literally down the street. And I've done walking videos and I'm on my bike right now. I'm literally moving my feet on my bike. I've been on here 32 minutes. So a lot of times, if somebody offers me a ride, they're actually interfering with my walk time. So I want to take my walk. That was my plan in the first place. And I don't know this gentleman very well. So, I mean, and it's my right. If I don't want him at my place right now, I just don't want that. So that annoyed him. And I think that contributed to him maybe not wanting to go to the movies with the family. Because remember, narcissists don't like no. See, for me, when I'm meeting a new person and they not showing me where they stay at right away, because this is 2023 and this is the new world, there's so much toxic, dangerous stuff going on, that wouldn't bother me. I don't even require that. I don't think I would even be thinking like that for somebody I just met. Like, why do I need to know where they stay? First of all, somebody I just met shouldn't be in my car. I shouldn't be in his car. I mean, it just ain't a good idea. However, he really wanted me in that car, and he was really upset that I didn't want to be in the vehicle, because what happens for a lot of women and men, it can happen for men too, you fall in love with the vehicle, not the person. So for me, I understand that the vehicle is a supply. Remember, supply is for empaths too. So if I'm getting free rides and having this gentleman drive me all around as an empath, I'm still getting supply from him. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So I avoid those situations because I want to just focus on the person. I want to leave the material items out of it. And also, I don't want to be coming at this man like I'm some kind of user. So that annoyed him. And what he had done with other women didn't work with me. Because a lot of women would have fell for it. A lot of women, he could meet other narcissists or people that are narcissistic, like how he's acting, and they use him for the vehicle. However, I'm not a narcissist, so I'm not using them like that. I don't really care. I enjoyed my walk. Okay. So let me try to think of something else he did. I'll think of other things and I'll take some notes. I'll review this video myself so I can actually think of some other things. But this is gonna be episode 1 of Narcissist number 1. And I'm hoping that you're interested in viewing episode 2. And because I think I'll think of some more stuff to talk about. And if I don't think of anything else to talk about, I'll just move on to Narcissist number 2. However, there will be more that I will think about. I've been on this bike, y'all, almost 37 minutes. So it's just such a relaxing time on the bike, you know? And I just be so excited to do my videos. I feel relaxed, awakened, excited for what I'm gonna accomplish this week. Looking forward to doing more videos. And I appreciate y'all for listening. Please leave a comment on what you think he may be. Do you think he's narcissistic, which means he just has a little empathy? Or do you think he's a full-blown narcissist? Do you think he could be just a normal? Or do you think he's an empath? What do you think? However, no matter what he is, this video is going to be called Narcissist number 1, episode 1. And if I think of anything else, I'll have an episode 2. But if I don't think of anything else right away, I'll just go on to Narcissist number 2. So just be careful, y'all. And whether it be a male or female, really consider what people are saying to you. And as a result, if you can pay attention to the red flags, you won't be used and you won't end up living a miserable life, okay? And you got to learn from the past. These narcissists in your past have not benefited you. So from now on, when you see the red flags, I think there was enough red flags for you to say, yes, that wasn't gonna be a good relationship, and not even a friendship. You don't even need friends like that, y'all. So again, leave a comment. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I love y'all so much. And thank you, and tune in for more here with Advanced Insight. Thank you. Bye.